Welcome to Etihad Cargo Connections. I'm your host, Rowan Anderson, and tonight I'm joined by trainer Alban De Mieulle. Good evening, Alban. How are we tonight?
Good evening. Thank you.
Excellent.
All okay here.
Thank you so much. So we'll start with, where were you born and where did you grow up?
Where I born? I born in France. Yesterday, I will say. No, I born in France in '56. So, and I was trainer in France. I studied the first student as a baccalaureate agricole, and after start to work in the farm with my father, and I did my military service before, of course, as it was obligatory in France. You know, it was the rules at this time. And after I started to train some horses for a small owner, I would say. And step by step, I moved to another place in France. I started in West France, close to, for the people they know, is close to La Baule, the beach, something like that. And after I moved to South France to Arcachon, where I have 30 horses in training. I stayed 9 years in training in Arcachon before to move to Qatar for His Highness Sheikh Abdullah.
And what was the initial point that you got into horse racing and training? What was it that motivated you to want to pursue that as a career?
No, because I grew with horses. My father was with horses all his life, and he was trainer. And I will say I born with horses. So you know, when you you have your family with this blood, what you can do on train horses, I would say.
That's it, exactly. And so, in your career, what have been the highlights of your career so far?
What you mean by
so highlights, so like memorable wins and races that you'll never forget.
But of course, the best filly I trained is Aldama. It was a fantastic filly. She won I think 20, I can't remember, but 28 or 27 race, and I think 18 group race, group one. So it was amazing filly, Arab. I won everywhere in Europe, in France, in England, in Turkey. I've been Dubai. I won everywhere with this filly. She was a fantastic. And the story of this filly, she got that three. I want maybe when she started, she won I think 6-7 race following each race she won, and unfortunately she got a small fracture in the bones, fetlock bones, and we have to stop her for 1 year. And after she come back and she won, I think 20 races after this, and it was a fantastic, because the doctor at this time say unfortunately has a 50 chance she can run again. And we Sheikh Abdullah say, okay, we give her rest, and inshallah. And he was working very well.
Impressive.
So it was a nice story. It's a nice story.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, most definitely. And so you're regarded as one of Qatar's best trainers. What does this reputation mean to yourself?
Of course, like we say in France, you know, I should not say that, but we say it's better to be a king in a small country than nothing in the big country. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah. I mean, not a king, but I say I am lucky to be in Qatar and to have a chance to have a good owners and good horse with me. So it was why I won so many races. But of course, if I was in France, maybe I never did what I do in Qatar.
And so you have several nominations for the World Cup as well as in Saudi. I think you have 11 horses nominated for the Dubai World Cup Carnival. Is that correct?
Yes, but I think some of them will not get invitation, of course, because the rating is maybe too low, you know. So we have to wait and see what they will do next week in Qatar first, and after in Saudi.
Yeah, excellent. So for Saudi, you have 4 and then you have another 4 for the Abaya Arabian Classic. Will they all be running?
No, I have 2 horses in the thoroughbred race handicap.
Yes.
I don't know the name of the race, sorry, but and one in on the grass track, 2,100 meters Arab horses, Arabian racing, Salwa.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is that Salwa? Is it?
Yes, Salwa. Yes, it is Salwa. He finished second behind a very good horse here. I train his name Abbas. Yes.
Abbas, yeah. And what do you have planned for the Qatar Cup week or the Qatar campaign coming up in terms of
Yes,
runners?
I have some runners, some thoroughbreds in the Amir Trophy. I have 2 thoroughbred, but it will be a staff race because a lot of horses, good horses coming from outside, especially from Ireland or from England. So it will be a staff race. We know already, and Dubai also will send some horses, so it will be a staff race. Arab race in Emir Sword, I will have 2 horses. One is named Abbas, of course, one I like, and the other one it will be like the leader, Moraf, for the race. Of course, we expect a good result with Abbas, but it will be a staff race.
And
just talking
talking about Abbas, he's running in Qatar, and you have him for Saudi as well. Tell us a little bit about that horse, how he came to you, and what his performances have been like so far.
No, we breed this horse with Sheikh Abdullah. The owner was Sheikh Abdullah, and he decided to give to Watnan Racing for Qatar this season. And so now he has under the name of Watnan Racing. But this horse was won some good race in Europe before. Unfortunately, don't like the soft ground. So it was why Qatar Arabian World Cup he finished 4th or 5th 2 times over last season, because the track was a little bit soft. But anyway, he's a good horse. Now we have to prove he can be, I would say, one of the best. So I think next week we have to prove.
Yeah. And how large is your stable currently?
Actually, we have around 65, 70 horses in training. Yep. I will say 50-50 thoroughbred, 50 pure Arab.
And are there any younger types coming through of the current crop that people should keep an eye out for, that you really are impressed with what they're showing and what they could show on the track?
We have some local bred, nice pure Arab in training here, but I think, Watnan Racing is a new established just 6 months ago. They start, so they're very new, so they have to buy a new stock and buy a new young stock. Yeah. So, of course, now we don't know what we will have for next season, but it depends what we will find.
Yeah. And
actually, for local, I think we have a nice horses, but pure Arab import, we have to find.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts on the profile of racing in the Middle East, in Qatar, Saudi, and Dubai, in terms of growth and, the races and prize money that come with those races?
So, yes, of course, it's a challenge between Dubai, I would say, Saudi, and Qatar now for the race. I would say about the prize money. But I would say last season we've been to Saudi. It was a fantastic, very good. Very good. No, not because we want to race, but because how they organize and how the track is. No, it's fantastic. Saudi is a fantastic track. Dubai, everybody know Dubai because a long time they organize international race. So we would say it's nice. We can't complain about anything with Dubai. Qatar now is coming back is coming again. I would say because unfortunately during a few years they were a little bit late behind Saudi and Dubai, but now I think they improve. So I hope it will be a nice challenge for everybody. I mean, to compete in the Middle East from Europe or from the Middle East also, for local trainer.
Most definitely. And so you're based in Qatar. Do you send many horses, or are there many horses in the stable that you send to Europe or, abroad?
Before we send a lot of horses to France not a lot of, but we send the best horses we have in training in Qatar to France to challenge with European horses. Now this season, I don't know what we will do because it's the first, as you say, as I told you, it's a new. They established just in last July, so they need time to know what they will do in the future, Watnan Racing. But maybe they will send 2-3 best horses in Europe with some trainer, and step by step they will improve next season. Maybe they will manage something in Chantilly or somewhere else. I don't know yet. We have to settle everything step by step.
Most definitely. And in the time you've been training, what's a major lesson you've learnt that has set you up for success?
I say, success is easy when you have a good owners, good horses, and very important, a good team. That's the more important. You can have a good horse, but if you don't have a good team, unfortunately, you will not prove what you have in your hand. You know what I mean? And I will say, in Qatar, we are very lucky to have a good team, but it takes time to make a good team. You know, it's not easy. It's important.
And having trained in France and Qatar, have you always been involved? Did you begin with Arabians or did you begin with thoroughbreds in terms of training?
No, I begin with thoroughbred, only flat thoroughbred and jumping thoroughbred.
Yeah.
And when I came to Qatar, I never trained an Arab horses before.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I remember a story because it was my first runners, and the name of the horse was Sarki Despien. And when Shahania asked me in the morning what I think about the race today, it was my first runners for His Highness. I say, Shahania, I don't know about Arab, but if he don't win, I can take my flight ticket back to France, because for me it was a nice horse and he won very easy.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. But at this time the race was more easy to win in Qatar 25 years ago than today. You know, the challenge is different.
And what was that experience like, having trained thoroughbreds and coming across, and your first experiences with the great pedigrees of Arabians?
I would say is what I say all the time. For me, thoroughbred is like a machine. You learn, you teach them what you want to give to them. Arab is more, I would say, if we can use this word, intelligent.
Yeah.
But you have to respect them. And what I say many times, you know, in French we have two languages to say you. Yeah, we say tu, and we can say vous. So respect the person in front. Is more respect for the person in front. And I will say for thoroughbred we can use a tu, but for Arab you have to respect them. You say you say vous. You know what I mean? You have to challenge with them nicely.
Yeah. I spoke with the trainer Jean de Ruel, and he also said to me that the same thing you said about intelligence of the Arabian, and that with thoroughbreds you can run them and run them and run them, like you said, but with Arabians it's more a case of them telling you what their plans are, and basically when you tell them yes, they tell you no. And when you tell them no, they tell you yes. So from everything I've heard, they're very, very intelligent.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. Very true. You have to respect them, yes.
And also the case with Arabians, if you run them too often, you can really ruin the beast.
Yes, exactly. We have to. The best is like that. I'm trainer now for a long time, and for the Arab horses. And I will say one thing, that I normally with my best horses, I target some race during the season, and that's it. Because if you race, like you said, too much, the Arab horses are at the end, they say no, finished. So.
And if there was any race either at home domestically or abroad that you would love to compete in and win, what race would that be?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
That's right. So if there was any race either at home in Qatar or the Middle East or abroad that you would love to compete and have a runner in, what race would that be?
I would like to run all of them. Of course, it's a challenge. So if you can have a chance to do that, to run over some different place. But the challenge, of course, Saudi is a nice challenge because it's a new track, it's a new, so it's nice. When I've been last season to win the first time for Qatar to race, it was fantastic, and it's very important when you are the first one to do that, I would say.
That's it. Thank you so much for this, Alban. It's been great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Talk soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.